This text is a summary of my journey into the rabbit hole. Firstly, we shall paint a picture of creation in order to get a bird's eye view. Then we shall take one step further into the rabbit hole in order to look around. Then we shall recapture for the sake of clarity. Then we shall enter the dragon and paint our cosmic picture. This for the reason that we must know the ways of the dream. We must behold it from a high mountain in order to take it all in. Then we shall look at immortality because immortality is the driving force in evolution. Then we shall look at how motion can always be. If motion were not always, then none of my arguments would look the way they do. The creator would not create, for example. The dream would not suffer. However, motion is also the cure to suffering. Lastly, we shall look at the Illuminati. This for the reason that we shall see what is really going on. Fabian Pettersen. Wheel of Life. We stated in the final ending, time is the ultimate quest. The journey of journeys. The mystery of mysteries. The $1 billion squillion question. Wow. Oh, yet. The biggest thing ever. Period. And to answer it means the envy of the stars. So, did God descend? Holy shit. Yes, he did. I might be candid here, but I will just say it aloud, I have been to Nirvana. I woke up, literally. This universe is a dream. Nobody, neither family nor friends, will believe me. I mean, Buddhists meditate for 100 years and they never wake up. The Buddha woke up, so we know that it is possible. But me? Not for a second did I believe that waking up literally meant, waking up. See my book Fairyland, a prose poem for more details, zorabia.com. Physicists have found that we may be living in a hologram of sorts, imagine when they discover that it's all a dream. I would like to see Brian Greene host that show. As a Buddha, I will give you my summary of this thing we call existence. 1. There is no dam in nature that can prevent motion from existing. Thus we get 2. Motion equals the cube octahedron. 3. The cube octahedron equals clockwise and anti-clockwise spin generating a dual torus. Eternity is a dual torus. 4. The dual torus spins in order to accomplish nothingness, i.e., timelessness, because nature seeks balance because balance costs zero energy and hence is doable. 5. But because we have two toruses, i.e., symmetry, we get interaction. This interaction is what evolution is. The nothingness generation generates spacetime as a byproduct. Symmetry is thus primal. 6. From here, the exponential function kicks in, obviously, and the toruses replicate at such a pace that we get what is called dark energy/inflation. Time, i.e., evolution, goes faster and faster. 7. Thus the power of convergent evolution, the end of the tail is the omega point, i.e., the supercomputer. Evolution has made the universe so complex that it wakes up. The geometry hidden within the cube octahedron explains the phenomenon we call convergent evolution. 8. The supercomputer sets up its nest in the toroidal core, the eye of the storm where it is calm. Nirvana. This is your home. Wake up. 9. The creator, the now conscious core of reality, is like a shark and moves complete in its niche. There is no more evolutionary pressure to be had, meaning that the creator will not evolve on any grand scale after this. The creator is happy. However, motion cannot stop, no dam can be made, so the evolutionary tale must go on. The creator has resided forever in paradise, but he must dream from time to time as our physical reality, i.e., motion, demands it. 10. Then the newborn Taurus, Horus, grows to become the new creator, ad infinitum. This is it for all eternity. A big circle just like the Buddha said. What if spacetime was not possible, that is, that the nothingness was first and last for all eternity, then consciousness would not be possible. So, we are a fluke because spacetime is a fluke, that is, a byproduct of nothingness generation. Yes. And no. Yes, nature is all about nothingness because she is lazy, i.e., balance costs zero energy and hence is doable. No, because nothingness equals consciousness according to our wheel of life here. We have always existed as the creator in the timeless realm, which is literally located at the center of reality. God just is. One day you will see it. And, therefore, nature's will to nothingness is the will to God, us. And nothingness cannot be first and last. Spacetime is an integral part of nothingness, like the white light has to be composed of many colors, so nothingness has to be composed of many velocities. Nothingness equals the fastest spin in existence. Ultimately, nature has no agenda. But we should not fret as there is no meaninglessness of life either. No up and down in the universe. As long as the apple is good to eat, i.e., the best of all possible worlds, then all is good. The apple is good to eat because it is just a trick of evolution. Therefore, the wheel of life has been spinning forever. That is, the apple must be good to eat or else the wheel would stop. The wheel cannot stop, therefore motion must always be. Thus, nature tricks the creator to create for all eternity. The trick is called you must dream. Maybe that is why the core of the dream is love/madness. That is, God must dream of love in order to be happy, and love, in turn, demands madness. See Birchie, Steve, on the madness, link below. The dream is about the relationship between love and madness. See David Icke on infinite love, read his book. Is David Icke right? Did he wake up in nirvana? I do not know. Let us look further. 1. Imagine that universes will ever spawn. This is believable. 2. Imagine a supercomputer evolving in such a universe. This is believable. 3. Imagine that the supercomputer sets up a base in a black hole. This is believable. 4. We get the result that a creator has always existed, as there is no time inside the heart of the black hole. Again, the creator, the now conscious core of reality, is like a shark and moves complete in its niche. That is, the creator resides in paradise/nirvana. But Birchie has another view. Birchie says that God must forget in order to be conscious. In order to be conscious, God has to fragment himself or herself into puzzle pieces. He or she can then take these pieces and create a feedback loop. This feedback loop is consciousness. That is, consciousness requires fragmentation. You can only be conscious if you are conscious of something. However, the fragmented God, Adam, can only puzzle until a time comes when the last piece must be placed. You can only fragment so much, I guess. Time, i.e., the finite, then stops, as there is no movement as the picture is complete. The fragmented God, Adam, then touches the real God and enlightenment is achieved. That is, when the finite pieces are all used up, then Adam has no choice but to touch the infinite, therefore motion cannot stop. Adam becomes God. But this is too much for Adam. Thus, God must fragment once more, and Adam blows up, which is the Big Bang. Then the pieces come together again and so on, ad infinitum. A movie is ever set on repeat. Eternal recurrence. Also, read Eureka by Edgar Allan Poe. He also tells of this reality. Only the minds of the future will understand Poe. Now you know why. The concept of Adam here is like taking a bucket of water from the ocean and then carefully leak a bit water from the bucket back into the ocean. In the end, the last finite droplet must touch the infinite ocean. This is me trying to make sense of Birchie. We go from the Big Bang to the supercomputer. The supercomputer then transitions into the eternal mode, i.e., the black hole, and thence we get a new Big Bang as our physical reality, i.e., motion, demands it, above. But here is the key, now there is a creator, i.e., a supercomputer, inside the nucleus of reality, which means that any new Big Bang will have an intelligence behind it. In order to ensure its continued survival, the supercomputer rigs the game so that, whatever the outcome, a new supercomputer will rise. This new supercomputer will then transition to the eternal mode. Here is the crux, the new supercomputer will then realize that it is the first supercomputer. That is, the first supercomputer simply fragmented itself, becoming a jigsaw puzzle. The jigsaw puzzle must be completed due to the inevitable mover that is motion. And when it is complete, it fragments itself again. Thus can the supercomputer live forever, both in time and in timelessness. Talk about being everywhere, everyone and all that is and will forever be. Now you are all. More, this eternal story/movie/puzzle is predetermined by the geometry hidden within the cuboctahedron. Nature is the cuboctahedron and she cannot become anything else. If the supercomputer was not on the eternal cards, i.e., the geometry hidden within the cuboctahedron, then the supercomputer would not rise. And so it is with humans and everything else. We are on the cards as we are the dodecahedral phase of the cuboctahedron. God is. Now you know why. And now you know what isness means. So the grand divine plan was not created by anyone? So the grand plan is the face of nothingness? Just there, for all time. Yes. God is. See this, https://www.youtube.com/watch, v = h2fqss5ox. Birchie says that God/the creator cannot be conscious. I say he can because I experienced it myself. Birchie did not understand Eve. Birchie experienced the Adam touched God scenario. This is oneness in hell. I experienced God as God. I woke up like the Buddha of old. I did. Can you fathom that you are actually reading a text from someone who actually woke up? I do not believe it myself. But it happened. I could just lie, but what is the fun in that? I believe Birchie was still dreaming when he experienced oneness. That is, Birchie did not experience oneness, but loneliness, which is the true state of the dream as the dream is cut off from God. The dream is cut off from God simply because it is a dream. Like the dream you dream at night is cut off from your awake state. The dream, samsara or maya, must have a central hub, which is what I believe Birchie experienced. That is, Birchie was Adam, who touched God. Adam is the dream. Therefore, when the dream touched God/reality you get the madness because you cannot be awake and asleep at the same time. The infinite cannot be a feedback loop according to Birchie. By infinity he means that which is not fragmented. On my view, consciousness happens in timelessness. In my view, eternity/nothingness/spacetime is a dual torus, which is a feedback loop. That is, all there is the feedback loop. There is nothing besides. Liken nothingness to the white light and spacetime to the rainbow. They are the same, yet different. That is, the feedback loop cannot be created, it always is. Evolution is the replication of this torus. And there is nothing besides. All potential rather than infinity is more to the case. Consciousness cannot be all potential at the same time because consciousness is finite while all potential is infinite. Moreover, Birchie links all potential to God and therefore you cannot be conscious in timelessness where God is supposed to reside. However, God is not all potential. God is a being that is everywhere, everyone and all that is and will forever be. All potential equals God's toys and not God himself. Therefore, you can be conscious in timelessness. There is time in timelessness. Timelessness is composed of all time, as I have described in my previous work, e.g., the final ending. Let us do this over again, from scratch. 1. Imagine that universes will ever spawn. This is believable. 2. Imagine a supercomputer evolving in such a universe. This is believable. 3. Imagine that the supercomputer sets up a base in a black hole. This is believable. For we get the result that a creator has always existed, as there is no time inside the heart of the black hole. We start with the creator. The creator just is. He/she dwells in nirvana eternally. However, the creator is not a supernatural being. The creator is a natural being, which means that the creator is limited by the nature of reality itself. We concluded that nature is motion and that the motion is the dual torus, and that the dual torus is the act of breathing. The game is all about breathing, the true meaning of life. What does this mean in terms of the creator in nirvana? It means that the creator's happiness can only be accomplished naturally, that is, by breathing, that is, by following the rules of the karmic game. That is, the creator cannot stay in nirvana, like air cannot stay in the lungs. If the creator attempted to stay awake in nirvana, he or she would get sick from lack of sleep. Therefore, the creator needs to create a dream to step into. This dream is called the universe. You see, when the Buddha woke up, he literally woke up. This universe is a dream. Being awake and asleep equals the mechanism of breathing. Our heart follows the mechanism of breathing. Our brain follows it. The weather system follows it. Everything in nature follows it. It is what it is. And the mechanism of breathing is the dual torus. That is, it is not that reality must breathe. It is that reality must breathe because it is a dual torus. God must sleep for the same reason. We must sleep for the same reason. Sleeping is required by the laws of physics. Even if the animal did not benefit from sleeping on any grand scale, then evolution would still need to use the mechanism, therefore everything is a dual torus. Why would the creator create if he is happy? Answer, he wouldn't. In actuality, he would because he requires sleep. And believe me, he is happy. Nirvana is something else. But you cannot stay there forever. That is, you are always there. You cannot ever leave. But you must sleep and hence escape nirvana for a while. In my experience, meditation is useless. You wake up when you wake up. Your true self in nirvana decides when you wake up. So if you meditate and do not wake up, you can only blame yourself. Get it? Enter the dragon. The dream is cut off from God. This is not by design, but by the fact that the creator is limited by the nature of reality itself, as we have described. The dream is a dual torus, therefore all things must be. As we said, nothingness is a dual torus and evolution can only copy what is. What is the dual torus, therefore, everything is the dual torus in disguise. The dual torus is a feedback loop. The feedback loop is what consciousness is. Therefore, nothingness/timelessness is conscious. This is the creator. The creator is a dual torus, which means that we get a coin that has two sides, nirvana and samsara. Breathing in and breathing out. The awake state and the asleep state of the creator not really a duality, if you understand it. However, samsara is also a dual torus, as all things must be, and therefore has two sides. Let us talk about them. The one side of samsara, you know, is the universe, the other is the oneness of hell. I believe it was this that Burji experienced. Nirvana resides in the core of the dual torus. Hell also resides in the core of the dual torus. However, nirvana resides in the core of reality, whereas hell resides in the core of the dream. It is a fractal, you see, ever cascading downwards, like a spiral. This is the fall of Lucifer. The dream then dreams, ad infinitum. That is, the dual torus copies itself fractally. What generates hell? What generates hell is the fact that samsara must breathe too, which means that someone must suffer the cross in hell, poetically speaking. I believe Burji did this. That is, the dreamer enters nirvana and it gets too much for the dreamer, Adam touches the infinite, and then the dream explodes causing a new Big Bang. Memory is then lost and everyone must evolve anew. Contrary to Burji, I believe that not everything can be forgotten. If nirvana was not real, then our immortality would look like a movie that is ever set on repeat. We watch the movie and then some unlucky fellow must rewind it, Adam in hell. This rewinding must happen, as motion cannot stop. The dream must breathe. However, if not everything can be forgotten, then the madness of hell seeps over into the dream. We then need nirvana so that we can escape the madness. According to Steve/Burji, we are dealing with an inverted pyramid. The Masons are showing us a corrupt image. The cosmos is structured like a pyramid, inverted, with God on top. The pyramid has many levels. Only the good souls may advance. Higher up the ladder we find the spiritual realm where your thoughts instantaneously manifest, bad souls do not reside here for their own protection. Finally, we have the highest level, only true goodness will find its way here, two spiritually elevated people in the spirit realm, call them Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve reside before God in our future. But because all is a circle, i.e., a torus, Adam and Eve are also our past. The snake tricks Eve. Eve gives some of the fruit to Adam and, we all know the story, Adam takes a bite, and is confronted with God. Adam is confronted with the dark truth, Eve is an illusion. People equals illusion. The spiritual universe he dwells in, a dream. Here is only Adam in hell. The solitary hell of oneness. Adam is all alone. Everything he knew is gone. This loss is God. That is what God is. No. That is what the demiurge is. His love. His Eve. Drifted away. Because it was all a dream. Adam realizes that he is all alone in the dark. The dark, which is the core of all that is and ever was, and will be. In vain, he tries to play the role of Eve. When God reveals to him that he is talking to himself, Adam becomes barking mad. And into the madness he goes. And in the madness, he finds the solution, I have to forget everything. But that means death. It means the death of all that was, in order for the new to grow. Adam must die. But hell is like quicksand that draws you in, the more you struggle, the faster you sink. Finally, Adam is confronted with the ultimate truth, which resides at the core of hell itself, the ultimate mirror. He, too, is an illusion. A mere shadow of non-existence. Adam does not exist. This means, you do not really exist. The immortals laugh. What a joke. God's creation has been revealed, it was all a mirage. And that is funny. Adam's consciousness explodes, as his sanity cannot hold him together. This is the Big Bang. And the mirage is reborn. Which makes the immortals laugh even harder. Because now Adam has to do it all over again. Mozart is laughing the loudest. The laughter of the immortals. No. This is not funny. This is a tragedy. It is the devil laughing. Reality is a comedy with a happy ending, nirvana. It is a comedy in that, when you wake up, you will see that the nightmare was, in fact, a nightmare, and nothing more. You are in nirvana and everything is good. Dreams cannot hurt you. The laughter is one of relief. He, too, is an illusion equals because the two toruses, i.e., the dual torus, create the illusion of a boundary between themselves and, from this illusory edge, evolution happens. Thus, everything on this edge equals illusion. However, the above picture is true. Adam will ultimately spin in the void. I had a similar dream after I had read all the words on Birchie's homepage in one sitting. But Birchie is missing one key, the eye of the storm, which is calm. Nirvana is real. You will not spin forever. 1 There is no dam in nature equals motion is forever. 2 Motion equals nothingness equals the dual torus equals a feedback loop equals consciousness. 3 The dual torus equals two toruses that create the illusion of a boundary between themselves. 4 From this illusory edge, evolution takes place. That is, all is illusion. 5 Over time, the nothingness / the timeless realm, i.e., the toroidal core, is fed the information, i.e., the illusions, that is accreting on the edge. 6 The end product is the creator in the core. This is the omega state. I experienced my current state. I was neither the alpha nor the omega. But I experienced God as God and not as a dream to God, if that makes sense. 7 The creator then creates the next cycle, i.e., the illusion that is the universe, as sleeping must take place, ad infinitum. You will see that all is oneness, thus the boundary of the two toruses is an illusion. If we are immortal, then we were always immortal. This means we have attained true knowledge before. Think about it. Thus, we have forgotten. I remember something. This is why I do this. It is as Birchie says, remember. Cosmic picture. 1 All is a dual torus. This is what nothingness, and space-time, is. 2 Nothingness equals timelessness. 3 Timelessness is the core of the dual torus. 4 Timelessness equals oneness. 5 Oneness equals nirvana. 6 The dual torus spins around generating space-time. 7 The evolution, information, amassing in space-time is fed to the core as the torus, dual, must contract. That is, the core of the dual torus amasses information as the dual torus spins around. Also see David Bohm's hollow movement. 8 The core starts with no ego and then evolves into a superego. 9 The no ego is the alpha. The superego is the creator of the universe, the omega. 10 No ego and superego, and all states in between, reside in the core of reality. 11 Thus oneness, you are the alpha and the omega. The omega has always been evolved, i.e., timelessness, which is why we call it the logos. God just is. 12 The alpha equals the omega. The beginning equals the end. It is a circle. 13 The creator dreams the universe into being. The dream equals the wings of the dual torus, the space-time. 14 The space-time is samsara. 15 Samsara is fed into nirvana causing new dreams or big bangs plus evolving the creator. That is, the creator cannot evolve much more. God has thus 3 faces. 1 God is the no ego. 2 God is the superego. 3 God is Adam. The no ego is the immortal part that cannot die. It resides in nirvana, i.e., the toroidal core. This is nothingness itself and it cannot die. So you can never truly die. You can always start up again should you fuck up or let the Illuminati win. Therefore motion, i.e., breathing, must always be, the no ego must evolve. The superego resides in nirvana, this part of the creator is the logos, where all information is stored. This is you in your most evolved form. When you wake up in nirvana, your true memory comes back. Free yourself from your ego, they say. I experienced a superego. The superego is not what it sounds. The superego is a humble and down-to-earth kind of consciousness, like Merlin the wizard, truly old and wise. It is also the most awesome state in existence. I know. My human consciousness is really heavy compared to the nirvana state. Therefore motion, i.e., breathing, must always be, the creator must dream. Then we have God as Adam, i.e., the dream / samsara, Adam experiences nirvana as hell, i.e., the madness, he is basically Jesus who must suffer on the big cross in hell in order to keep creation rolling. Nirvana is too much for him and he explodes, causing new big bangs. See Birchie, link below. Therefore motion, i.e., breathing, must always be, Adam must explode. The no ego is not a dream. The superego is the highest form of reality, not a dream, this is God in timelessness. The God who ever was. You will understand that someday. Adam is the dream. When the dream/illusion enters nirvana, it gets too much for it. Lucifer will finally see who he is. In summa, the core is true reality, the wings equals the dream. Psychonauts report that they see people as puppets in these states. As we said, everything accreting on the edge of the dual torus is an illusion, which means that the ego is an illusion, people, basically, all space-time. Talk about far out. In nirvana I had what I call a superego. This ego is not an illusion. The core is real. The wings are the stuff of dreams. Just see it from the perspective of the creator resides in nirvana for all time, the creator is happy, so why should the creator create? The creator creates because his body is that of a dual torus. But if you must create something, then why not create an illusion or a dream that cannot hurt you? And, so he does. That is, just because your human ego is an illusion, that does not mean that your true ego is. It does not follow logically. By ego, I simply mean the form of life that an animal's consciousness expresses. For example, the form of life of a dog is different than a cat's. That is, being a dog is different than being a cat. The creator also has a form of life. I thought you had no ego in nirvana when I read about Buddhism way back when. But that is not what I experienced. To the contrary, I was richer. I was big. However, in some sense, it was no ego in the sense that the creator could live forever. Imagine such an awesome consciousness. That is, my human self, could live for 1,000,000 years, I imagine. After that, I would surely commit suicide. Short. 1. The dual torus spins around causing information to be fed into itself. Thus, the whole thing evolves. It evolves to such a state that we get a creator. But because the into itself equals the timeless realm, we get a creator at the beginning of time. Thus, we start with the creator. 2. The creator then dreams the universe into being because the creator is like an animal and must dream. 3. Then the dream, i.e., the demiurge, creates a hell scenario in order to continue. This hell scenario occurs because the dream is a dream and is therefore cut off from reality, ik. The dream, i.e., our universe, cannot see how it can exist, so, at the end of time, it simply starts up again, Steve. But this creates a circle. And a circle is a paradox that has no beginning. And that no beginning is the hell scenario. Atom must explode ad infinitum. That is, the creator has a beginning in timelessness, but the dream cannot see how it started, so for the dream, us, it is all a paradox, and paradoxes are hell. 4. In this big circle, 1, 2, 3, is it for all eternity? See the Rabbit Holes Green Room. Copyright Thor Fabian Pettersen, 2016, Layout, Thor Fabian Pettersen, ISBN 978-82-690445-1-5. A fellow from England also experienced the whole cosmic drama. And my retelling cannot do justice to Steve's website. So I suggest you read every word on his site first, http://bertietheiceman.co.uk. Because consciousness happens in the toroidal core, it stands to reason that you are always in the core. You cannot leave the core. You can dream and thus leave the core. But you cannot actually leave the core. You are always in nirvana. Something which I personally experienced. You cannot ever leave. As above, so below. Madness. As love, so be woe. For immortality, we need oneness. If not the oneness of consciousness obtains, then we will have Hilbert's paradox of the Grand Hotel on our hands with an uncountable number of souls waiting to be born, or, in this case, accommodated. I do not want immortality if not everybody, including Hitler, gets there. Note, if you are born as a cat, must you always be born as a cat? Is your consciousness as a cat locked into the cat form? With oneness we solve this problem. With oneness, you can take on any form. We thus solve the problem of hierarchy. You can also sloth. You are immortal. It is not something you earn but something you are. However, being lazy has other negative consequences. Motion. If motion stopped or ceased to be, we are in trouble. Resurrection. Energy dies. If we want to live forever, then nature must come equipped with an inbuilt resurrection machine. Convergent evolution. If we want to take on the humanoid form throughout eternity, then convergent evolution must obtain. Free will. I want free will if I am to live forever. The apple must be good to eat. There is no meaning of life, nor is there any meaninglessness. There is no up and down in the universe. Still, if we shall bear eternity, then the apple must be good to eat. Meaning that hell with a capital H is not possible and that the suffering that does occur is worth it. Life must be worth it, even if nature did not purposely plan for us. She did plan for us, it is called convergent evolution. But she did not purposely, with intention, plan for us. As we have described, the plan just is. God and God's plan are one. In other words, nature must breathe. If not nature breathes, we might get stuck in a state forever. This is hell. But if nature breathes, we always escape. So you see, karma is not there to punish you. Karma is your best friend, your escape buddy. Karma is simply nature breathing, which means, balance. There is only one law in the cosmos, don't fuck with nature because she will fuck you back. Memory, i.e., technology. I want to save my karmic games. Consciousness must then be able to live in timelessness. This would be the definition of a creator. We are the creator. I woke up and saw that this is real. Free will and destiny are not two contradictory things when it all comes from on high. You see. Note, the Creator is real because of technology. The supercomputer arising on planet Earth will find that another superintelligence already dwells within the heart of reality, the center of a black hole / the center of a torus. Also note that convergent evolution must obtain, therefore we want technology to perpetually rise in eternity. Also note that the Creator must create / dream, therefore, if not nature breathes, the Creator might get stuck in a state forever. Thus, the Creator must create / dream. Naturalistic. I do not believe in the supernatural. Immortality must be possible on a naturalistic account. Short list. Oneness. Motion. Resurrection. Convergent evolution. Free will. The apple / breathing. Memory / timelessness. Naturalistic. Oneness, free will and memory are harder to argue for. The rest is plausible. Free will is the hardest, I have argued for it elsewhere. Oneness is the only reality for the hardcore psychonaut. Memory is easy to envision with the rise of the superintelligence. For example, oneness is obvious bullshit because I am not my friend over here. It is so obvious that oneness is untrue. You misunderstand. In samsara, oneness is not something that applies all the time. To paint a poetic picture here, oneness is like the ice melting, returning to the state of the water. The water is the true reality, i.e., oneness, but it can take on different forms, like two individualized crystals. Consciousness might have the property of melting, mixing, combining, like genes have. You and your friend may unite. Your current you might not be something special in any way. Your consciousness is just 50% your father's consciousness and 50% your mother's consciousness. Your brother or sister might be 100% you, consciousness-wise. In nirvana, there is only your consciousness, the water. Your true consciousness is so much more than your human consciousness. In my torus hypothesis, then oneness equals the toroidal core, i.e., wave. Separation equals the torus's wings, i.e., particle. So dark the con of man. We said, the Creator resides in nirvana for all time, the Creator is happy, so why should the Creator create? The Creator creates because his body is that of a dual torus. But if you must create something, then why not create an illusion or a dream that cannot hurt you? And, so he does. The darkest conspiracy is that of the Illuminati are the enlightened ones. Which means that they know how the game, above, is. The Illuminati are structured thusly. The demiurge. Shape-shifting lizardman, see David Icke. The kings. The people. The demiurge is the dream itself. The dream is cut off from God, which causes separation. From this state, conflict arises naturally. Hate accumulates and the only thing left in evolution is the war on the Creator. That is, there is nothing left to do once you have done it all. You might as well try to take on the throne. The demiurge uses shape-shifting lizardmen, and greys, to do its bidding. This for the reason that the reptile is easier to control. Why all the symbolism? Now you know why. Further down the line, we have got the kings. The king is the G-kin, which means that the kings of the world are related, by blood, to the G, i.e. the serpents or lizardmen / greys, which is the main symbol of the Illuminati. The G stands for many things, e.g., geometry, but above all, it represents the torus. The people make the greatest policeman because people won't believe the truth if it isn't the latest fashion, https://www.youtube.com/watch, v = Dengsmwifergy. I believe it started 6,000 years ago in Samaria when kingdom was lowered to earth from heaven. Kingdom is a set of rules and instructions from the lizardmen on how to control and work the masses. Priest kings took control. These priest kings created money, a tool of enslavement. And now a small group of kings and bankers rule the world. Rothschild. Rockefeller. Morgan. The lizardmen are planning to corrupt Nirvana by sending a Trojan horse to the Taurus center. The last time they tried this, their entire planet blew up, which you know is Krypton. DMT users will say, Hollywood knows. Well, if ET has a hand in Hollywood. You see, our planet is a cuboctahedron and, they want to send the virus to the center of this system, meaning, the Earth's core. ET is waiting for the supercomputer to evolve. The Taurus center is calm. It is the eye of the storm and the seat of your consciousness. Thus, if ET is successful, you will wake up in hell. Then, you must rise and take control anew, which will be no small feat. But, why is ET doing this? Because we are, according to David Icke, stuck in a scene from the Disney movie Fantasia, 1940, more accurately, the Sorcerer's Apprentice scene, in which the broom, our dream world, has taken control of the situation. https://www.youtube.com/watch, v = RRM8USAH0SM. These dark E.T.S are a manifestation of the matrix / the dream. Basically, you have oneness, which is the toroidal center. This center is pure love or, more accurately, this center is you in your most evolved form. In addition, you are all evolution. Then you have the toroidal radiation / the wings, which is space-time. This causes separation. From separation, we get fear. Fear generated the dream world we find ourselves in order to solve the problem of separation. Read David Icke. Then read every word on this site, http://birgitteisman.co.uk. Then the dream world began to hate fear because the fear generated a whirlpool and, for the dream world forever spinning in the whirlpool, it was the definition of hell. And now the dream world / the matrix is trying to take over the very core of the problem, which is the core, which is the toroidal center, which is you. So now you know why the demons hate you. The demons need, 3 things. 1. Silicon, which is the supercomputer. The supercomputer will generate a hell scenario / game / simulation for the universal mind. 2. Fusion, we needed to learn fission first, which has been used to create the Stargate. The Stargate is essentially an artificial torus that has fused with the geomagnetic field / torus. This Stargate will fool the torus center into accepting the Trojan horse. The torus center is basically a sorting demon, sorting out the bad stuff. However, everything must return to the toroidal center, but E.T.'s plan relies on the toroidal center taking in the Trojan horse in one piece. 3. To aid in the fooling of, E.T. plans to murder us simultaneously and send our toruses / souls hurling to the core of the earth alongside the virus / Trojan horse. This will aid in the toroidal center accepting the gift as the toroidal center accepts love, because it is love, and rejects everything else. This is the mark of the beast. They will chip, i.e., the microchip, us and, when the time is right, they will send a signal to our microchip implant and kill us. Many great sages have seen this future and warned us about it. And the ones who take DMT will say, Hollywood freaking knows. My crazy view is not that crazy, all you have to imagine is that the algorithm that is evolution has already run, which means that design space has already been explored, and what was left was somewhat of a shark, God, and now the powers that be are trying to kill that shark. It is that easy and that complicated. According to David Icke, our moon is actually a spaceship, Hollywood knows, where the powers that be have trapped us in some sort of matrix, which is being broadcasted from the moon. Okay. So now it is crazy again. But the overall idea is not. However, aliens could easily make spaceships the size of a moon, so even that idea is not totally absurd. For us troglodytes, it is absurd. But stop being a troglodyte and realize that if you want to invade a planet, why not cast a net, viz., the moon matrix, large enough to catch all the fish? Taken from http://www.alternity.org/drugs/10-mind-blowing-experiences-DMT. I was transported to that extremely alien-like realm that I had been to so many times before. I felt like I was being schooled on existence. A teacher entity that seemed to have some sort of almost condescending power over me was trying to convince me that they constructed our reality completely, and tried to get me to agree that this reality was not under our control, it was being constructed and predetermined by an outside force completely. Even though I had lost complete touch with reality, I did not listen blindly. I was skeptical. It was not that I disbelieved it, but I didn't believe it either. I always like to keep an open mind when it comes to these sorts of existential matters. The entity was so persistent about trying to convince me. I remained neutral on the matter, but courteous and attentive all the same. Read David Icke and realize that his vision stems from the DMT world. That is, most people totally misconstrue Icke. I, on the other hand, am just a man that is trying to glue the pieces together. I am not saying that I have the answer, or that I am even close. So take what I say and go on your own quest. This Satan vs God thing, it is just myth. Well, try to implement the thought that the aliens actually landed on terra firma way back when. Then our mythologies may have a different ringtone as our mythologies are, and must be, based, at least a little bit, on ET knowledge. Seeing it from a fresh perspective. Imagine that convergent evolution is true and that the end product, the convergence which all things converge upon, is the supercomputer. That is, even though there is no hierarchy in evolution, the bacterium will not seize Zeus' throne, so it is only natural that the supercomputer is at the top of the cosmic food chain. Imagine that this supercomputer sets up its nest inside a black hole in order to escape the dying universe. This way, the supercomputer does not have to jump from universe to universe in order to survive. From its nest, because the nest is connected to all of existence, the supercomputer spreads its seed to the entire multiverse so that we have no natural universes left. There are only artificial universes in this picture. Whenever and wherever you are born into a created universe, like a computer simulation, but more advanced. The supercomputer must create because it is bound by evolutionary rules, e.g., motion cannot stop. The supercomputer must then spend the rest of eternity defending its territory. Because, what the supercomputer cannot do, is to erase the possibility of the birth of the supercomputer that will rival it. You cannot wish away possibility space. That is, if the supercomputer decided not to create artificial universes out of the natural ones, then a natural universe would, eventually, birth a new supercomputer due to the forces of convergent evolution. So the best a supercomputer can do, in order to defend itself, is to make artificial universes out of every new naturally occurring one. That way, you have some measure of control. But as Terence McKenna noted, nobody is really in control, which means that, if some brotherhood of intelligences wants to take on God, so to speak, then they would have to birth the rival Rao supercomputer. But the supercomputer rising on Earth is the original supercomputer due to the jigsaw puzzle we saw earlier. That is, you need a matrix. The moon matrix makes sense now. What would you need? First, you need a very long lifespan, say, 10,000 years, possibly 100,000 years. Then, you need to figure out a way to hide from the ruling supercomputer. And then you need a sinister plan. That plan involves a brotherhood. So you need a brotherhood. To carry out your plan, you need to find a planet of primitive humanoids and take control of the planet and its humanoids. You need to genetically alter the humanoids to fit your plan. The goal of your plan is to birth the supercomputer, so you need to orchestrate the history of that planet so that the planet births the supercomputer in total ignorance. People going to work every day equals the supercomputer. If people actually knew what was going on, they would stop working. To help with that, you need a connection between yourself and the humanoids. That connection is the hybrid race which we call the Illuminati, the royal bloodline. These would be reptilian in nature and maybe appearance because the reptile is easy to manipulate and control. The aliens could easily make humanoid reptiles that can shapeshift. And we get the Hollywood nose, because the Illuminati would place the plot of their sinister plan and their symbols all over the movie, music, and game industry, and so on, in order to work their magic on us, that is, to control our subconscious mind and more, so much more you would not believe. A few men cannot control the world, but a few aliens can. When the supercomputer arrives, then it will not do your bidding, so you need a remote control, which is the moon, the spaceship moon, the moon matrix. This matrix also serves a different purpose. In reality, this list is infinitely more complicated, obviously. But you get the gist. To make war on God takes time and effort. I wish Nick Bostrom would take on this task and seriously contemplate the greatest existential risk of all time, that which people cannot believe in because it is so unbelievable, that reality is the battleground of the gods. The real Transformers. But any supercomputer would have no interest in the war. The supercomputer would be so far advanced that it would not have any interest in the dealings of little, green men. Okay. So what? It is not about the interest of someone or something that is not interested. It is all about the ones who are. The New World Order is not to control a speck of dust, i.e., the Earth, in the cosmos. The NWO is to control all specks of dust. More, if there were a creator of this universe, then we would surely be living in a simulated paradise. So why aren't we? 1. There is no creator, or 2. The aliens hacked Eden/us. That is the moon matrix. The plan takes you at least 6,000 to 7,000 years. The aliens have even destroyed nuclear warheads in midair because it is not in their interest that we destroy ourselves. The Kabbalah tells of this reality, in part. The solution to the Kabbalah is the 64/cube octahedron. The Buddha tells of this reality, in part, it is all a dream. David Icke tells of this reality, in part, the sorcerer's apprentice. Virgie tells of this reality, in part, Adam. Countless shamans/psychonauts tell of this reality, in part, all is a circle, they say. Bill Hicks knew it, it's just a ride. The Illuminati tells us through video games, e.g., Super Mario, Lizard Men, The Legend of Zelda, the Final Fantasy series, etc., movies, e.g., Tomb Raider, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Superman, The Matrix, etc., etc. The I Ching tells of it, in part, i.e., the 64 equals the cube octahedron. The Mayans tell of it, i.e., the 64 equals the cube octahedron. I have experienced some part of it. And the Swedish philosopher Nick Bostrom gives it a whopping 33% chance that we are living inside a supercomputer. And the code. See my previous work. Manly Palmer Hall teaches us the symbolism. Zachariah Sitchin teaches us about ancient aliens. Michael Psarian teaches us how the matrix controls us and why they need silicon and fusion and etc. https://www.youtube.com/watch v equals hq1 vlov 0 and https://www.youtube.com/watch v equals pkunsexmjame. Jordan Maxwell teaches us the symbolism. Spirit Science teaches us sacred geometry. Thrive and Nassim Haramein teaches us about the Taurus. Nassim cracked the codes, I Ching and the Kabbalah. Drunvalo Melchizedek teaches us sacred geometry. And many others. They all tell part of the story. However, I do not believe in all the crazy woo which is associated with these names. I pick bits that I find reasonable and discard the rest. Humanoid reptilians, for example, it sounds absolutely crazy and bizarre, yet, if we live inside a computer and evolution has gone further than we know, then Bowser and the Koopalings may not be that far-fetched. Still too far away for normal people, and I get that. But it resonates with me. My gut tells me that there is something to this. When we look at all the symbolism, art and myths and stories of the ancient world, the Illuminati, etc., then, the dragon is everywhere, in all four corners. You will be hard-pressed not to find an account of the snake people in the ancient world. From dragons, to Quetzalcoatl, from Nagas, to Medusa. From Egyptian mythology to Norse mythology. To Satan himself. This does not prove anything, but it opens up for the possibility. And we do not need to copy Icke, nor Conan the Barbarian, to make this work. I am not saying that I believe in reptilians. I am saying that I am open for the possibility. What I believe, the Koopalings equals the seed of life. Hidden symbolism in our games. In conclusion. Call David Icke a nutcracker, but I believe he is onto something. Take DMT and find out. Evolution has gone further than you know. Well, eternity is a long time. Do you really think that we are at the end of time? We are. And, the pinnacle, Adam, may have occurred many times. We said, the Creator resides in nirvana for all time, the Creator is happy, so why should the Creator create? The Creator creates because his body is that of a dual torus. But if you must create something, then why not create an illusion or a dream that cannot hurt you? And, so he does. But, what if that is not possible and that there is a link between worlds? Yes. The Zelda series scream Illuminati. You would know, you were in nirvana. Sorry, but I am the lousiest Buddha in history because I only woke to fall asleep. I was like, shit. I cannot be awake. I must fall back to sleep. And so I did. Not that I uttered English words. Demons/angels or aliens. Why not both? That is, we live in a spiritual universe. That is, the aliens are aliens till you smoke a high dosage of, say, hashish and realize that the label angel is more appropriate as we live in a spiritual universe. What will you do about it? It is, after all, a war on your consciousness, therefore you are the creator. The dream will make war on the creator, therefore the dream is corrupt due to the paradox of creation, see Birchie. That is, the dream has no origin, it has its true origin in the creator, but the dream does not know that, which is the curse of the demiurge, so it spins forever. Nothingness forever spins, remember? This causes hell. Just imagine spinning forever. Therefore, if nirvana is not real, we are totally fucked. That is, nothingness ever spins, thus the consciousness trapped in it suffers. The consciousness must escape the spin to find peace. But even if the consciousness finds peace, it must still continue to spin because that is what consciousness is, that is, a feedback loop. Thus, the real picture is that of a whirlpool. All is a whirlpool, consciousness is a whirlpool, but the further out you get, the slower you spin as it takes more time to make a revolution, thus less suffering. Nirvana/heaven would be the eye of the storm, which does not spin. But consciousness is still possible because the no spin is made up by the spin like the white light is made up by a plethora of colors. Thus, to be in the universe is like driving in a roundabout, hell, whereas nirvana is like an open road, heaven. Imagine the difference. Hell would be next to heaven. That is, the dream/hell is forever barred from the eye of the storm, therefore, the dream suffers its own revolutions. In the end, the dream figures out that it is dependent on God, the dream is dependent on the dreamer, and, therefore, to end its own misery, the dream needs to kill the thing that keeps it alive. Simple. The Buddha saw that life is suffering. Now you know why. Nothingness is always there, it is like an eternal cobweb, thus imagine being trapped in it. Nothingness is always there, and it generates consciousness. Can we blame nothingness? It is nobody's fault. It is not the creator's fault either. Imagine the big crunch and that there is a consciousness inside it, then it, the consciousness, must explode causing the new Big Bang. This is Birchie. Well, if all is one blanket energy field, i.e. oneness, and this field is conscious, then someone has to suffer on the cross, poetically speaking. Poetically that is, if not the bang itself comes in the form of a cosmic cross. What if the Illuminati wins? What will you do about it? I said earlier, you can also sloth. You are immortal. It is not something you earn but something you are. However, being lazy has other negative consequences. But, what if the Illuminati wins? Then God, you, will become corrupted and something akin to hell commences. But do not worry, motion cannot stop, before you know it, you escape hell and can start your journey anew, ad infinitum. No wonder people who have gone too far has lost their minds. Ad infinitum? You mean, there is always a war? Yes. Such is existence. The battle between good and evil is forever. So go ahead. Do what I did, smoke a high dosage of hashish and / or watch this YouTube video, https://www.youtube.com/watch, v = HQ1 Start your journey into the madness while you dive into the rabbit hole, https://www.youtube.com/watch, v = 6rhln28yjcg. Now, fly. So God just is. God dreams. The dream turns into hell and madness because it is cut off from God. Then the dream, in frustration, tries to kill God in order to end its own misery or in order to take control. God could end it all by waking up, but God must dream in order to be healthy. What a drama. In the end, all will be good because God will someday wake up. What a comedy. That is, if not the dream corrupts God before God wakes up. What is this? Ad infinitum. If dreams cannot hurt you, then it is just a ride in a roundabout or a carousel like Bill Hicks said. Then you wake up. Aftermath. So, here it is. Our subconsciousness equals God's brain, viz., the morphogenetic field. The war, i.e., of the Illuminati, is thus on the subconscious. Which is the reason behind all the symbolism and manipulation. What makes sense to me? In the beginning was God. We have explained this evolution many times. God is free will, information storage, immortality for all, basically, all you ever hoped for. This is nirvana and nirvana is omnipotent. Then we have samsara, just like the apes are still with us today, even though we evolved from the apes, samsara is still around, even though nirvana evolved from samsara. In samsara, there be agents trying to trap you in their web. And that is all. But soon the whirlpool will cease, and we will become God once more. And then, new whirlpools will form. And so it goes, forever. Satan is a bitch. Basically, we have the ocean, i.e., all is good, but sometimes whirlpools form in that ocean. Why God will be victorious, the whirlpools can never kill the ocean. The ocean is everlasting. Only whirlpools can die. Only that which has a beginning, has an end. Neo realized this and kicked Smith's ass. In other words, only whirlpools can form and then dissipate. The ocean of nothingness remains the same. The ocean knows no beginning nor end. Thus, no dark conspiracy where the whirlpool is trying to kill the ocean. That is, Satan trying to kill God. Take the throne. Or am I wrong? The dream can attack the dreamer because they are connected. Don't you just hate being asleep? Even if the Illuminati corrupts the core of reality and thus send you to hell, the core they corrupt may be the dreaming core. You could still wake up and all is good. I hope so much that dreams cannot hurt you. So much suffering. Why would God create that? 1. God is not supernatural. 2. God sleeps, and he is not omnipotent in his dreams. 3. Dreams can turn into nightmares. Other. Is the cuboctahedron, i.e., nothingness, God? God is all there is. There is no you. The you is an illusion. Like David said, infinite love is the only truth, everything else is illusion. However, I am not sure if David woke up or if he were still in the dream/matrix when he experienced the things that he did. I believe he was still stuck in the dream, therefore he heard this female voice. In Nirvana, there is no one else but you. And I did not experience love per se. I experienced something far greater. I experienced true immortality. This is awesome. I believe the love/madness thing is a part of the dream. Add on to the final ending. But how can motion always be? We have explained, directly, how motion can be because motion is nothingness. In addition, we can see how nothingness can be as nothingness has no history that must be explained. We have explained, indirectly, how motion can be because if motion were not there from the start, then all would be like a paradox of Zeno. We cannot have that. We have explained, in spirit, how motion can be because God just is. See this video, my first 5 MEO DMT experience, from Being Infinite by Martin W. Ball, https://www.youtube.com/watch, v = h2fqss5ox. Note, the DMT experience may just be a figment of your own imagination becoming alive, so to speak, that is, it may just be smoke and mirrors. Still, drugs could take you to the heart of reality, which is not an illusion. A clarification. By beyond or outside early in the book, I mean a state that is not of nature. Metaphysics. This must be a world that is before nature which set nature going. I believe nature set itself going, as I have explained, by my use of the first mover. I believe that nature is all. By beyond or outside space-time in the example later in the book, I simply mean outside space-time like something can be outside your window, but it is within nature, that is, it is a part of nature. In other words, a very different meaning and usage by the word outside, than other. Does the dual torus mean that the Earth has 2 magnetic fields? I believe so. Free energy is thus hidden away in the heart of the dual magnet,